Hey guys, homesteading cheaper by the dozen. What do you got going, Gabby?
Tiny house work.
Gotta come closer. Dad's phone doesn't make a bunch of noise.
Tiny house work.
Who's getting a tiny house?
Me.
Awesome. Gabby's getting all grown up. He'll be 17 when? 6 months. So mom and dad have a deal that the kids want to build a tiny house or buy one, that they can stay on the property, save money, go to college, get a job, buy land, whatever they got going on, need to do. And Gabby's got, what kind of tiny house are we building? A log cabin. We're going to try to build a log cabin all off the property, cutting out pine trees that are the right size there, and we might even do shake shingle roof. I told her we might have to do metal just to get it done quick. Kids are always bugging dad because dad doesn't always get things done as quick as they want done, but we got a lot going on. This right here is Hayden's little cabin he bought when he was 17 or 18, I guess. And then Ethan has a little camper there. He just bought that for 200 bucks. Gonna do some remodeling to that. And then Gabby's building a, how big? 16 by 16 with a loft. So it's gonna be pretty. We got pressure treated floor joists, just to, we're gonna be ground contact probably. But stay tuned, that's going to be our new video. We'll make a little series about it maybe for the next tiny house building project. But stick around for all the fun, guys. We'll show them, let's show where you're going to put it. Let's excuse the mess. We got to get on to Hayden to clean up this pile of trash. Always trying for incentives to help the kids out in life. And go on.
Clear out over here.
How far in? Go in there and show us. Always looking for incentives to help the kids out at life and keep them close by. Not too close, but pretty close, where we can be a blessing to them and help them get a start in life that doesn't cost them a whole bunch. And told them they're living cheap now as they'll ever live, so I'll show it.
We're clear this area forward. We're gonna move Ethan's camper more that way.
Pull Ethan's camper up. We want to have kind of like a little circle here with a little fire pit in the middle, and all the kids can kind of hang out and get together. We got 5 more girls after Gabby, so we could make us a little subdivision, tiny house subdivision out here. Some of the kids are getting on board. Caleb's buying a RV. He bought our 38 footer with the slide out, and him and his wife live in that. They're gonna be doing some remodeling here in the future on it, and then Hayden's fixing to buy one for him and his soon-to-be wife. So, trying to teach them about cheap living. Live as cheap as you can under your means as long as possible until you can afford something bigger and better. You're pretty excited, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking it was never going to happen. This is actually going to be the first one that's taken mom and dad up on the idea of building the tiny house. We built one for the second daughter, Raven, and we got a big series on that. If anybody wants to go back and watch the videos of that tiny house, we're going to get it finished up before long and let somebody stay in it. But Gabby's going to work with dad and mom on building their own. Stay tuned, like and subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and I'll have a blessed day. Choke it a little bit. orange button down below. I think we're out of gas actually, but orange button on the side. Nope, below the primer. The primer was the bulb that you were pushing in. Pull that out. Okay, now try to start it. Push the choke in. Hey guys, Gabby is going to cut down her first tree. Clear a spot for her tiny house. So what's the first thing we do? Safety first. Always clear a spot around the tree. Go move those limbs so we can have a place to retreat if things don't go right. As you can see, this tree is leaning that direction. So without much trouble, it's going to fall that way. We're going to try to get it to fall between that tree and that tree over in there, and it'll probably get hung up in the limbs. This being Gabby's first tree to cut. Who knows what to expect, but we're going to cut it down. Big tree. Gabby's cut other trees. My bad. I'm sorry. So, what are you going to do first, Gabby? Glasses. You're going to cut a notch. Huh? A 45 or so with a flat on the bottom and an angle on the top. And then we're going to come back in and do a relief cut on the back. And we'll see how that goes. Cut again. Voila. So, which way do you think that tree is going to fall, Gabby? Come here. Let's look at the way it's leaning. Okay? And then if it has a bunch of branches on one side, that means a lot of weight. So it's probably going to fall that way. Or it's going to want to fall that way. So where do we want it to fall? If it falls that way, we don't want it there, right? We got a power line up there, and then we got two trees there in the way. So where do we want it? Show me.
That way?
Well, that would be nice, but it's leaning that way. So, do you see the lean of it? Okay. So we want to try to make it go down between those trees over there and those trees right there, that way. And if it falls somewhere else, we can hook a tractor to it and pull it down. It's not a big, giant tree. Got it?
All right.
All right, we'll start cutting, and then that'll start leaning. So look, we want this tree to fall in between these if we can. So we're going to cut it over to about right there, straight in. Understand? Now we want to cut our angled cut starting about right here, going down in, and it's going to come right in there and meet that one. Okay? So we got a beautiful notch cut about 3/4 of the way through the tree. Works out really beautiful. It's gonna be a good fall. And Gabby happens to be like Dad and be deathly allergic to the poison ivy. So we're gonna try not to cut through that a bunch. But where are you gonna keep your hand away from the poison ivy, but show me where you're gonna cut your relief cut or your back cut. Yep, probably about 3 inches taller or 2 inches taller than this base. So maybe about right there. Some people cut it down on an angle. So you come in here, you want to leave a hinge of like 2 inches going all the way across. But some people cut a flat, some people cut a hinge. And then one thing I forgot to mention for timber cutting, if you're cutting these logs for timber, like if we were logging this commercially, we would put our notch upside down. So we could put this flat and then cut our angle up that way. And that way this butt log, or the log, is not, we wouldn't have to start measuring the log length from here. We can measure it from this point down here. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's get the saw started and we'll start cutting on the All right, that'll finish it up. We'll have to get the backhoe or something to push that down. Caught on the tree limbs up in there, and it'll come down. It'll be all right.